Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Dr. Perkins, a board certified OBGYN, and today we're talking about how to balance female hormones. This is such an important topic because we're hormonal people. We experience hormonal changes every day, even when we are just not even aware that that's what's happening. We're going to dive into the signs and symptoms of hormonal imbalance. Then we're going to talk about how do you create that balance through your lifestyle, through your diet, all the things that you do, and how you can create that balance with supplementing and including herbal remedies as well. And so we're going to talk about all of that today. Please stay until the end because if you do, I'm also going to give you a free gift for listening all the way. And so I want to help you, and I'm excited that you're here. So let's dive on in. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about female hormones first. We have more than 50 hormones in our bodies. It may actually not sound like a lot, or maybe it does sound like a lot to you, but it is such an interwebbed system between all 50 plus hormones. And if any one of those hormones are off, too high, too low, we may have an overall imbalance, and it can really cause us to feel out of place. We are not feeling anything close to being normal. We are a mess, and we feel like a mess. Now, when we talk in general about hormonal imbalance, many times we're reflecting or referring to the female reproductive hormones. Because in general, if you were to look at a male and female, hormonally, we have very close to the same amounts and the same kinds of hormones. Now, the difference really between a male and female is that when it comes to the reproductive hormones, females have a higher level of estrogen and progesterones compared to a male, where their dominant hormone is testosterone. Now, both males and females have all the same hormones, just in different quantities. So males, yes, they have estrogens and progesterones just the same. Females, we have testosterone as well. It is just not our dominant hormone. If you're just like, well, I don't know if I'm imbalanced, or how do I know if I'm imbalanced? Well, yes, we can do lab work. We can check our estrogens and our progesterones. We can check our follicle-stimulating hormone, the FSH. We can check our LH, luteinizing hormones. We can check the ratios between them all. That can give us a picture of what the exact numbers are and our levels are at any given point in time. The challenge with checking the lab work is that our hormones are changing throughout the day. We may be higher in the morning, higher in the afternoon, and sometimes that change doesn't reflect the same schedule from person to person. When we get our lab work done, we're checking your blood at that moment in time. And so 5 minutes later, the picture could be completely different. Oftentimes I'll have patients come in and they're just like, well, my lab work looks like my hormones are fine, but it is actually not a true reflection of who you are hormonally 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days of the year. And so what speaks much louder to us are the symptoms that you are having. Are you having regular cycles? By regular cycles, meaning that relatively from month to month, your cycles will come as predicted. You should be able to think forward 3 or 4 months and say, you know what? I want to go on vacation on this day. My period should be here or not be here. So when we're pretty regular, we should be able to calculate that, and we should know. If you're irregular, your cycles may be 28 days this month, 35 next month, skip a month altogether. It is just very unpredictable. And that's usually one of the biggest signs of hormonal imbalance. Other symptoms can be fatigue. You eat well, you take your supplements, you drink lots of water, you're resting well, but you feel extremely fatigued all the time. Or it could be the struggles with hormonal acne. Or it could be that your energy is low. There's so many different things. I could probably give you about 100 different symptoms that could be linked with hormonal imbalances. So what can you do about this? Whether you have the labs or you just have symptoms or both, know that everything that we do from day to day can impact our hormones and create imbalance within them. And so let's talk first about your diet. Diet is such an important aspect of creating balance in our lives. In this day and age, we tend to overconsume processed foods. And yes, they are impacting us internally, and they're definitely impacting our hormones in more ways than one. First off, if we are not balancing our meals with protein, carbs, and fats, we're already being challenged. It is so important, especially as females, that we eat enough protein, almost as if you're a bodybuilding. But that's just what patients tell me, like, oh my gosh, that's a lot. We want to aim to get about 25 grams of protein with each meal. And as females, we really want to have protein-heavy meals earlier in the day. And I find that we are so far from doing that. We may grab a granola bar, which oftentimes doesn't have enough protein, definitely not 25 grams. We may have a boiled egg. One boiled egg may give us 6 grams of protein. That's not 25 grams of protein. We may have a bowl of cereal. We may have some oatmeal. We may have a slice of bread. We may have things that we pick and go as we are getting the kids ready for school, and we're just not having a full meal. Our breakfast needs to be filled with protein. And so when we want to create balance, we want to start by having protein-heavy breakfast, but really enough sufficient protein with our lunch and our dinner as well. We also want to have lots of fiber. Fiber is very important because when it comes to our GI system and how we process our foods, it is very closely linked with how we process our hormones. Whenever our system, our body, releases inactive hormones, the estrogens, the progesterones, the testosterone, all of them, it is released into your bowels. It is then our responsibility, or bowel's responsibility, to take all of these inactivated hormones and release them in our stool. The way that your body and your bowels will do this is by grasping them with fiber. So if we're not eating enough fiber in our diet, what happens is that the hormones that are broken down and being released in your bowels to be excreted are actually not moving through your system fast enough because there's not enough fiber to take it out. We may experience constipation. And when these inactivated hormones hang in our bowels too long, sometimes we can reabsorb them and reactivate them. And then now your system becomes even more imbalanced because you have too much activity of your hormones. And so it is very important that we eat enough fiber. Fiber is something that is not being absorbed by your body, and so it is released through your stool. Everything from spinach and broccoli, even Metamucil, if you were to add fiber that way, it doesn't matter. We want green vegetables. We want oatmeal. We want things that are grainy, like whole grains instead of white rice, for instance. We want lots of fiber. And so these are some of the simple things that you can do to help to create balance hormonally through your diet. Physical activity is almost, if not more important as a diet. You know, we hear of the 80-20 rule, and there's so many of them probably. But what's most important when it comes to becoming hormonally balanced is that you are moving, not just walking throughout your regular day, but you're challenging your system by making your heart work a little bit harder, breaking a sweat. We're moving weight against our muscles. That's resistance training. We are physically challenging our bodies for about 150 minutes per week. Now, that can look like a lot of different things. It could be 30 minutes a day, it could be an hour, a few days a week. But our aim is to try to get to 150 minutes of physical moderate activity each week. What happens here is that when your system internally is activated and you start sweating, you're helping to release toxins and inactivated hormones. Even through your sweat, you are also stimulating the rejuvenation of your cells, the activity of your cells, and you're helping to establish a really good core that will help with keeping you balanced. In addition to the physical movement, it's also super important that we rest. Rest, meaning taking a break from the gym and from exercise. It's rest when we sleep at night, because as females, we actually rejuvenate our hormones internally while we sleep at night. And so if we're running on empty all the time, if we're sleeping for 3 to 4 hours a night, that is not enough. And research has actually shown that females need more than 8 hours a night, especially if you're postpartum. We need closer to 10 hours of sleep to fully rejuvenate our hormones, replenish them, and be able to be in a good place the next day. And so it's super important that we pay attention to our sleep. Can't stress it enough. Stress is also another biggie. It is super big. Whenever we're stressed out, we release more cortisol. Cortisol is our stress hormone. When cortisol is high, it often will shut down our reproductive system, where estrogens are just off, or progesterones are off, ovulation now becomes off, and especially if you're looking into fertility, this can just create hormonal chaos everywhere. In general, we don't want to be in a stressful state internally all the time. So just to give you an idea, cortisol is a fight or flight hormone. So think of it when you're in an emergency and you're just like, I don't know, being chased by a dog, right? Internally, you're just like, oh, I'm stressed out. You know, the dog is coming. You need to run. You need to escape. That is a stressful moment, and cortisol peaks in your system. Now, if we're always constantly stressed out and our cortisol stays high, your body is always trying to save you. And internally, it leads to more hormonal disruption over time. Stress is a really good one that can be supported by supplements. In general, if you're not eating a balanced diet every day and moving accordingly, I highly suggest taking a multivitamin, just so that all the micronutrients that we need for our cells to function and our hormones to rejuvenate and replenish themselves, we want to make sure that you're not depleted in those. And so a multivitamin will help to create and provide your body with the small things that it needs to maintain normally. Now, ashwagandha is such a wonderful supplement to actually help with your cortisol levels. There's so many more. And if you want to watch, we can check out some of the other videos on my channel where I dive into more of the herbs and supplements that we can take. But there are a lot that we can do to help support our hormones and creating balance inside. Better yet, I have a free gift for you. And I think this will help you in trying to find hormonal balance. It is my ebook, Hormones Don't Lie, and it is free, and I'd love to send you a copy, because in this ebook, I dive into all the nuances linked with hormonal imbalances as a female and strategies to help you create that balance. I've helped to walk you through this journey, and I'd love to send this to you. Click the link below this video, and I'll send it your way. I hope you've learned a little bit today, and as always, thank you so much for joining me here. Please join me next time.